From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they are coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights,
Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. I am Jerry, up in Ohio, and we've got a thrilling show for you today It promises to be exciting as we take a look at the Super Eagles coach of Nigeria, talking about Éric Chelle, talking about how he got the job on merit. It's going to be fireworks. We talk about the Champions League as well. PSG up against its former coach, Unai Emery, in the second leg as PSG trade tackles with the Aston Villa. There's also Borussia Dortmund. Will they do the miracle against Barcelona, who are high flying under Hansi Flick? Definitely, they say time will tell. Joining me today is Ikechukwu and Maiwa, who are ready to break down all the action and share their hot takes on what's going down in the football world. All right, don't forget, so stay tuned, subscribe, and turn on that bell. Also, don't forget to call us via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. All right, Ikechukwu, definitely a lot to look forward to today, talking about the Champions League and talking about the Super Eagles and so on and so forth.
Yes, Jerry, good evening. Thanks for having me, and good evening to our viewers here in the locker room. I mean, it's a very, UEFA Champions League night is usually a very big night, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen. But I don't expect anything different from what we saw last week. I want to believe that the sides that won their first leg have already qualified.
All right, okay. The first leg team have already qualified. Talking about upturning a 4-0 deficit.
4-0 deficit, yes.
For Dortmund and for Aston Villa.
Two goals deficit, that's 3 goals to 1.
3-1. Wow, that's quite a big one. And the 2 games are away.
Yes, of course.
Away from home.
Yes.
Wow, definitely they will need the Liverpool and Madrid spirits joined together to upturn that kind of result. All right, Maiwa also joins us virtually today. We'll be taking a look at these issues as they come. It's still not yet in. Maybe he's having some consolation party with Ruben Amorim and Onana, who are still licking their wounds. And of course, when they thought that Onana was the problem, what's the name of the second goalkeeper? Is it by India? That name always confused me.
I don't know the name.
The guy conceded 4. It was it 4 or 3? Anyway, it is always the season for Manchester United to have fun in terms of goals. But let's leave that now. Let's talk about the Super Eagles coach Éric Chelle has denied securing his job through connections, stating that he applied for the position through a formal process. Chelle was appointed by the Nigerian Football Federation to lead the team after a successful qualifying campaign for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. And in an interview with the press, Chelle explained that he submitted his application and presented his vision and philosophy to the NFF. He expressed satisfaction with getting the job and emphasized that his appointment was based on merit. Chelle's appointment has generated buzz, but he clarified that the process took time and that he had to wait for the final negotiations, and is set to lead the Super Eagles in their upcoming matches. Do you agree with Éric Chelle that he got the job on merit, or was it a situation where it looked like there was no option anymore? They tried other options and felt, okay, maybe it's the least option we have. Let's just take him and see how it goes.
Well, I think the two truths can coexist. Perhaps because there are no options, and then of course maybe he actually really formally applied and then got the job. I mean, it's very possible that the application process was actually extended up to when all the people they were actually looking at getting actually didn't accept the job, and then they look at the rest pool of people and then decide to actually give him the job. But my own worry in this whole Chelle's angle is the fact that he has to come out to tell us that he got the job on merit. Why is he telling us he got the job on merit? What exactly is the reason? Is it because of his performance in the second game? I'm just curious because, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing this sort of things from any Nigerian coach. Had there been words, rumors, and getting the job through, third party and saying there's a kickback like that, saying, okay, this is actually this man's slot, and then he's actually party. So that's why when I the story, I was like, why is he, coming up with this? Um, is there an allegation somewhere? Who is actually making him, talk? And I mean, you go into, exam, and then people are beginning to query or question your, and then you start talking about, how I actually did all I did to actually get to this particular point. But then, I mean, this country, there's so many things you see, and sometimes I'm wondering how we tend to do things in part of the country. But for Rachel, that I like, so that's why I mean, I'm quite surprised why we're having this conversation about whether he actually got the job through my slot, like you said, or maybe he actually really. I mean, with time, time is nobody's friend. He's definitely going to reveal with more days to come who actually made him what he is today, how he actually got the job. We definitely, because he started this conversation. Now he's bringing it out in the open. Somebody definitely will either come to other counter, perhaps the side actually brought him, or someone from the side who were actually not pleased that he got the job. With time, we definitely get to find out, who and how he actually got the job of the Super Eagles.
All right, currently he's saying he got it on merit. I think it was just a situation where we just needed a coach and got Éric Chelle, because we already tried Austin Eguavon, and of course we saw there was some bit of fresh air. But when he lost against Rwanda, a lot of Nigerians had a rethink, and that is why Éric Chelle was brought in. Not he was the best man for the job.
The thing is, Jerry, if you look at the coaches that we names that were mentioned before Éric Chelle actually got the job, we had names like Sanfi, we had names like Harvey for this particular Super Eagles job, that okay, this person is actually going to get this job. Perhaps let's see what the NFL is actually trying. We had different kind of nomenclature that they use to actually describe the coaches that will be coming for the Super Eagles job. We had names like enterprising coach. We had names like different sort of names to describe the adjective, rather, to describe the managers that will be coming. But then he came on board, and towards the very, very, very last minute. And I don't know I don't know if he's actually making this comment because he feels that certain persons are beginning to want to talk about how he actually got the job, or he's making this comment because of the second game against Zimbabwe. If the second reason is actually the case, then I don't think there's any reason to fear. Yes, Nigeria is a bigger stage compared to where he's coming from.
Do you think he deserved the job? He got the job on merit.
This is a very big call, right? This is a very big question you're asking me.
Yeah.
But then, based off the quality of coaches that we have at the point when he was chosen, right? I think it's actually on merit, because yes, he's got a Nations Cup experience. He's coached a proper team.
Was it the fact that the NFF does not have the money to go for a bigger coach?
Well, that's why I said based off the number of the levels.
That does not speak merit. That speaks on taking what is available, because it's a coach who's affordable.
It's still merit. Now, when we say something is merit, we have to look.
The CV merits the quality the Super Eagles need at a time where we're in a situation of not qualifying for the World Cup.
Now, this is another kind of question you're asking. But whether it's on merit, and looking at the coaches that we have at the point, then I would say it's on merit, because of course I don't think there's any coach that is bigger than him at that particular point where we actually hired him. Because the very first set of names,
the names we had. We also had Averena.
That's what I'm saying. The likes of Averena actually came earlier.
What's the other German? I'm trying to remember his name. That was
Sanfiet.
No, there was this coach the German that coached that played with us in JJ Okocha. That also was a one-time coach of Stuttgart and so on and so forth. There was also I can't remember. Bruno Labbadia. So those are the names.
I don't think. To be honest, I don't think Bruno Labbadia is a better manager than this guy in terms of level.
Wow. I think Maiwa is with us. I don't know whether Maiwa will feel. I think that's an insult on Bruno Labbadia. Maiwa, it's great to have you join us on Locker Room. I think this when the lion is sleeping, trouble they sleep.
always I came when Ikechukwu was talking about controversy surrounding the appointment of Chelle and the rest of that. The thing is, and I don't think that into perspective. How much experience does I've said on this particular show concern his experience does not make him ripe enough to coach our Super Eagles team. Let's go to games as a let's of that experience he actually experience national team, but it's a mess up. That is the reason why we have and then now come to Bruno Labbadia. To be honest with you, I think Bruno Labbadia has than Chelle. But however, the question is the question Ikechukwu should have had is Bruno Labbadia's career and what he has been able to do. Does he have the tactical in-depth to handle the national team of Nigeria? I don't think so. I think Chelle so far doesn't have that much experience but the way he wants our team to play, I think if we give him time, he might be able to perform magic with our national team.
All right, he might be able to perform magic. Are we dubbing him the next magician? I think there was a coach one time they used to call the magician when he coached the Super Eagles. But I can't remember the coach's name right now. Was it Militonovic? I can't remember. I think there was a Bora that
Bora.
That the Super Eagles had appointed.
Bora Militonovic, because he spent time I think in Mali, and he has known all the Mali and Senegal, and he knows how to do some juju. So they call him the magician.
The magician. There was even a coach, Philip Petrozzi, that was called the White Witch Doctor.
Yes, Philip Petrozzi.
One in time. Okay?
Yes.
Maybe we'll nickname him the magician. That is if he does the magic you are talking about. The only magic I will see him do, and I'll call him a magician, is if he qualifies the Super Eagles for the World Cup against all odds.
It doesn't change anything. If he fails to qualify the Super Eagles, for me, it's not on him. It's not on him.
Yeah, it's not on him, but of course.
It doesn't make him less who he is.
If he draws the remaining games, it will be on him.
He's not going to draw the remaining games.
Are you sure?
He's not going to.
He's going to beat South Africa.
He's definitely. Well, that South Africa game is a chance, but I still believe the Super Eagles will not lose that game.
Beat South Africa. This man should go into politics. So I think you make a fine politician.
No, sincerely, I told you right. Those sort of games,
okay,
those high-profile games, you see Nigeria will turn up.
Those who win.
Okay. My word in that particular games up like what you cannot even identify. But in these high-profile games, the Super Eagles step up their game, and Nigeria will most likely win that game in South Africa. I don't see Nigeria losing that game. The worst is going to be a draw.
All right, definitely a draw is as good as a loss as far as this qualifiers.
No, it depends. Games before the Super Eagles game.
South Africa will do the job. They will do the job.
They win all of them. They win that 4 games.
Okay, they are the only team good. game. So he wants the better team. And then on the 17th, the Flamingo for coach training sport in Ikene. Flamingos have a strong record. Previously won 5-1 against South Africa match with the team in this weekend with the winner of aggregate qualifying for the World Cup finals. The first leg will take place in Nigeria, while the return leg will be held in April. All the best. Very good one. Coach, this covered from Augsburg, president of the return Nathan Lazio.
Because
Understand all that.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Innocent, calling from US again.
All right, Innocent, great to have you.
Yeah, very much. I love you guys' program. To me, I would say Eric Chelle to win South Africa because as a player for Mali, he won South Africa. And as a national team in the last AFCON, he also won he also won South Africa. So I don't see no reason why Nigeria don't deserve to win South Africa. Sincerely speaking, Nigeria deserve to win the remaining matches and top that group because I don't see South Africa, Rwanda in the return leg. Rwanda and Zimbabwe, these two teams will pose difficult challenges to South Africa in the next crucial leg. I see them doing that.
All right, Innocent.
Because why I say so is that Rwanda also has chance of qualifying. So to them coming to Nigeria in the next round, they want to give their all so as to defeat Nigeria. But if they don't defeat Nigeria, if they lose to Nigeria or they draw to Nigeria, their next matches they will want to aim at victory at also qualifying. And the next match and their next set of matches include playing against South Africa. So we really us because it's very tight. Forget the fact that South Africa is leading. South Africa, they've not yet qualified. They've not qualified. To me, no team in that group has qualified. The group is still as wide as open. And for Nigeria to stand a better chance now to qualify, all Nigeria needs is goals, not just win. Goals. We need to pump in goals. Because if you check now, South Africa has 13 points or 10 points, maybe after the 3 points deduction. Check their goal forward and goal difference. You see that they don't have much goals within them.
Yeah.
You see a team like Benin. Benin has more goals. So all Nigeria need now is goals. It's just the same thing in Senegal's group. Sudan is top, but Sudan has less goals compared to Senegal and Congo DR.
All right.
So all Nigeria need now is just goals. Keep pumping in the goals.
Yeah.
Keep pumping in the goals. We'll qualify.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Innocent. Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome.
Very good point there. And of course, we also love you too for loving our show.
Please,
Yeah.
please, you guys should keep championing for Eric Chelle to bring Siri Dresser. We need a player like Siri Dresser in the national team.
All right.
We need him.
Yeah.
Then we also need Frank Onyeka, the tank. Because if, to me, is aged, one, and two, the position Leicester City is in the league is not giving him that competitive spirit. It's not. Because if you watch for 6 months in the Premier League,
This is what it is. What it is. Why you are. All right, let's talk about other players who might likely also be returning. There's also the talk about Leon Balogun, but I don't know the plan if Leon Balogun returns to play in this. The younger players who have not been tested, who see what they can really do. I'm talking about players like Nathan Teller, even Aroko Dare have not really seen much of him. Net Osimhen be left out of this one. Ademola Lookman should be left out. We already know what he can do. Stanley Wabali also should be left out. And in the defense, even Trustekong should also be left out. Calvin Bassey, Wilfred Ndidi, please take a rest. Let's see some other players he wants to blood in. This is a very big opportunity. I hope they will not misuse it.
Yeah, true. Leon Balogun, this particular game, I mean, the coach hasn't seen him. You know, sometimes see the thing is, you can be very good as a player, but you can be very, very weak tactically. Okay. I mean, these are the things that separate players, top quality players from themselves. Some persons can be very, very good, but then obeying simple instruction and then playing by the coach book is another thing, right? And the coach needs to see that, okay, this guy's got the quality to actually fit into my plan. Leon Balogun, without doubt, I mean, he's a very good centre back. We don't have his experience in the Super Eagles as at today, right? Save for Trustekong, and of course, Trustekong is actually, weak at this point, slightly injured, and I mean, he's also going as he's also on his way out of the Super Eagles as it stands now. So we need someone like Leon Balogun also to come in, who is a natural centre back pairing, to also come in. Let's see him, under this new coach, and then let's see if he can actually help shore up the back line in our next game, because the coach will definitely want to examine if he can actually play both of them, himself and William. Have him on the bench, say about 60 minutes of the game, take out Trusecong and bring in Leon Balogun. So it has to do with so many conditions. Of course, sacrosanct, we need a leader in the heart of the defense. And of course, for the likes of Gabriel Osho, we've really seen much. And Fisao Dele, but also I was expecting to be part of these guys are release. Improve. Something Mr. Torino Senakis instructed. The level is very low. I mean, Leicester City has virtually no ambition for the league. They just want and then remain in the Premier League. But then we need players. Sort of level and go higher. What I expect going forward, should actually regularly, that's actually chasing something at the end of the season.
All right, Maiwa, we're looking at young bloods as far as this Four Nation Invitational Tournament is concerned. I hope that Okoye will not be looking at over 2.5 like the way Onana has been doing going into that invitational tournament. It is what it is.
What to you now?
I'll just protecting the
interest. Very, very right. I actually do players, the established play this function. You already know what they can do. It's an avenue.
All right, having some bit of difficulty there, Maiwa, to hear you due to the network issues. But we'll hope to have him back. Definitely, I would have loved to hear him say something about the situation of Onana and Maduka Okoye. But Nika Jacob Murphy has not completely ruled out playing for the Super Eagles, despite initially turning down an approach from coach Éric Chelle. I think the Super Eagles has come to a level where he shouldn't even be begging any player. If Jacob Murphy says he doesn't want to play for the Super Eagles, I think Jacob Murphy is not better than Samuel Chukwueze. You can hold me for that one. And even Ademola Lookman, he cannot even lace his boots. I don't want to know how decent he is as far as playing for Newcastle is concerned. Or is he saying he's going to score more goals than Osimhen for the Super Eagles? I don't see that happening. But I think Jacob Murphy, if he doesn't want to play for the Eagles, fine. Let him concentrate on his football career, playing for club level, which we know he will never get an opportunity to play for England, for the Three Lions.
The thing is, what Jacob Murphy is doing at this point is what we call tinko. He's looking at the Super Eagles. He wants to go to the World Cup. That's the dream. That's everybody's dream.
So others should go and sweat to qualify.
He understands that. Yeah, perhaps he's looking at, let's see the Super Eagles' chance of qualifying. They can make it up to the World Cup, say just a game or two to the World Cup and we are in a very good, comfortable position, he can then step in to be part of the Super Eagles and then, you know, going to the World Cup. He has seen that the federation has no proper structure. We don't actually give regards to, you know, people who actually have really done so well for the national team. I mean, great gate crashers will always be welcome. We've seen players like this. I mean, we saw this is one of the big problems.
Chelle Ameobi one time.
Chelle Ameobi, of course. He's also an ex-Newcastle United player.
Yeah,
so perhaps it's a thing with the Newcastle players. We also saw it in 2002 going to the World Cup. Celestine Yebaro barely, you know, showed up for our qualifying round. In fact, it's one of the problems that, you know, what is the captain, Sunday Olise, was actually having with Celestine Yebaro at the point, because you don't show up for the qualifiers, but then you just want to be part of the team. You know, strong people behind him who can actually, yes, we know he's a good player. We cannot even doubt his talent. He's absolutely one of Nigeria's, you know, greatest left back, if not Nigeria's greatest left back. But then going into these sort of games, and then people have been sweating and bleeding. Mikel missed out on the Olympics because he failed to show up for the qualifiers in 2008. So why will this guy, at the end of the day, trust me, we are just having this conversation now, but Nigeria makes it to the World Cup, change. Switch and play for the Super Bowl, into the World Cup. I mean, now he's got quality on doing that. Chukwueze is a chance, and then he's this thing, them.
I think it happened. He came from nowhere and he was part of the team. And is not well, you know, anything that they can anything for just taking his sake, just to show up that they are good. It doesn't make any logical sense. I hope, you know, as we are talking about it now, I hope when it's actually Nigeria.
Commander State to Aston United team to write history by staging a comeback against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League quarterfinals. Villa Trail comeback own create story. The side will need 2 clear goals to progress. Home advantage, their benefit with the supporters' energy boosting the team's performance. If it was Real Madrid, I would say home support. But Aston Villa also have a good fan base. But it is what it is. Can we see them? This PSG played against the dreaded fans, and they came out with a victory in a penalty shootout that was highly tensed. I think they would know what to expect from an English side, not to talk of Aston Villa.
Absolutely. This is a very compared to the Anfield game, a very dreaded, one of the most difficult grounds to go to. I think it comes before the Roma and the Dortmund, fan base. And then you went there, you got 3 points, you won the game after 90 minutes, and then still winning penalty shootout. Trust me, their game at the Villa Park is going to be way easier. I mean, for two good reasons. The first reason is that they are, technically and then quality-wise, they're ahead of this Aston Villa side. And second, they have more in this particular team. And this game is going to be a lot easier for them because I don't know how Aston Villa is going to do it. Unai Emery is not the manager who is known to really play attacking football. And then one thing about coaches who actually like to play conservative is that when they are forced to play attacking style of play, they get very, very exposed. That's exactly what happened to Jose Mourinho. That's what led to his decline. If you look at Jose Mourinho, when he started at Chelsea, he was very, very conservative. He moved to Inter Milan, still very conservative. It's very difficult to break down. When he moved to Real Madrid fan base of play, so he was forced to actually attack. And he got one of the very Europe at the point. Of course, they scored 100 league goals for the La Liga. Then when he returned to England, the style of going back conservative became very open up. And then the beginning of Jose Mourinho, Emery will be forced to actually go attacking. And when he goes attacking, because guys will
Congratulations. You have made your point. And what are the chances of Unai Emery? He has done it before with Sevilla in Europe. Can he do it with Aston Villa against PSG tonight?
Well, this
Okay.
score goals. We need to score at least 2 goals.
Two more replied goals, yeah.
For him, to be playing his ultra defensive style, I don't think he wants to do that. And look at PSG at the moment; they are a very team. Yes, Ike Chukwuma is still to Liverpool top teams. You know that, and the performance they are doing after the show improve they have been very difficult. I can survive the numbers. For me, personally, this game, I think it's going to be another win for PSG at home. I don't think it has the quality to respond PSG will bring in tonight.
All right, let's see how that one pans. Emery also hinted that Oli Watkins, who has been managing a knee problem, could start up front alongside Marcus Rashford. The players, including Morgan Rogers, are confident that they can turn the tie around. And Rogers said the team believes they can produce the comeback and are excited for the challenge. And of course, one other team who I don't know how inspired they will be against the Barcelona side, who are heavy favourite to advance to the Champions League semi-final after dismantling Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the first leg. However, Dortmund will look to strike early and test Barca's resolve despite needing a significant comeback to progress. And Dortmund's coach, Nico Kovac, will be without injured midfielders Nico Schlotterbeck and Marcel Sabitzer, while Barcelona will miss Alejandro Balde and Marc Casado due to injury. But don't worry for Barcelona fans, Lamine Yamal is available, Rafinha is available, so even Lewandowski is also available. So with those three, I think Barcelona can just come into this game. It's an away game, and I don't know whether Dortmund can do the impossible tonight.
I don't think there's any impossible that Dortmund will be able to do. I mean, they are falling down already, and then they are losing key players in Marcel Sabitzer. That guy is an inspiration to this Dortmund side. And with the look of things, there are even talks that if Emre Can is fit, he's going to be playing the heart of the defense, and you know what that actually means. I mean, a square peg, in a round hole. It's going to be a very difficult ground for them. Yes, they've got a very good fan base, but I don't think that will be enough against the firepower, of the Barcelona attack, Lamine Yamal, Roberto Lewandowski, and of course, the Ballon d'Or favorite, Rafinha at this point. Barcelona is definitely going to score, and if a side keeps scoring goals, their chance of winning is very, very, very high. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to score 5 unreplied goals against this Barcelona side. Again, Barcelona is going to dominate that game, and if you cannot dominate a game when you're 4-0 down, how you
want my team to go against is one of the most deadliest attacker in Europe at the moment. It's just 17. Yeah, and because the predicted lineup for both teams have been revealed, with Gregor Kobel in goal for Dortmund and Wojciech Szczesny goalkeeper.
Yes.
For when he was goalkeeper of Arsenal, that's what happens to you when you're a goalkeeper at Arsenal.
I think it was still very, very much growing at the point. Goalkeepers, yes. Goalkeepers, talk to him. And the Juventus side all around, like Giorgio Chiellini and co, they were there. So they really helped. His talent was never in doubt. The guys, absolutely has always been a very good goalkeeper, but then he really suffered because of that, development stage. It's exactly what happened to some of Arsenal players in Jack Wilshere and co. They really did not know how to manage a certain stage. Lamine Yamal is actually really thriving because there's a Lewandowski, Rafinha, mature players in that particular mix who can really help him. So yes.
All right, of course, let's see how now pounds out at Dortmund. Serhou Guirassy, with 10 Champions League goals this season, will aim to test Barcelona's defense. And despite Barcelona's strong lead, Hansi Flick will be keen to ensure his team doesn't waste their advantage, given their history of wasting big first-leg leads at the Champions League knockout stage. So Dortmund, on the other hand, will play with nothing to lose and aim to create an upset. It's not like they didn't get answers, it's just that they were unable to convert. Time really fast spent. We'll have to leave you with this one, where CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani has criticized a proposal to expand the 2030 Men's World Cup to 64 teams. The plans put forward by South American governing body CONMEBOL have also drawn opposition from UEFA President Alexander Ceferin and the Asian Football Confederation. The tournament will be hosted by Spain, Morocco, and Portugal after the opening matches are held in Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. You won't blame me when they've turned hosting to buffet. Yeah, you want to invite everybody. 64. What will not be the value of playing qualifiers if you have 64 teams?
Absolutely.
Playing at the World Cup. That's how we wrap it up today. Big thanks to Ikechukwu and Maiwa for being a part of the show this evening. A big thanks to the guys behind the scene, about the likes of Shegun, Silva, Sam, as well as Jeremiah and Ikechukwu. Of course, from here, we say stay safe, enjoy the UEFA Champions League tonight.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. People's Voice, Mondays through Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Excited to prepare for Christmas and New Year celebration. But for shoppers, the big question remains, how does it cost of celebrating this year compared to last year? Let's take a closer look at the changes in the market prices. This time last year, staple food items like rice, chicken and vegetable were within a more affordable range for many households. A 50 kg bag of rice, for instance, cost around 40 to 50,000 naira, while a live chicken was priced at 5,000 to 10,000 naira. Today, however, the story is quite different. Now the same 50 kg bag of rice goes for 86 to 95,000 naira, reflecting a significant increase. Poultry prices have also soared, while a live chicken now selling for 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 naira. Even vegetables, one considered affordable, have seen a price hike of 30 to 50%. Despite the rising costs, the spirit of Christmas remains strong, with families finding creative ways to celebrate. Whether it's scaling down the menu or opting for alternative, the holiday season continues to bring hope and joy to many.
Jáwa bó ṣe rí náà lẹ́sẹ̀ rí yìí o lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbogbo nǹkan tiẹ̀ wá wọ́n sí kọ́lọ́n kó jọ kó ṣàánú fún wa ní àdúrà ní ká má gbà. Ń sìn òróró ń sìn is 97,000 ata ní 52 general 32,000 bí ọ̀nà mẹ́ta ló lé sí. North kì í sìn àti ìta ní 2,200 naira ẹyọ kan gbogbo January yẹn à ń ta ní 1,004 1,003 tomatoes alágolo 5,005 5,003 so àwọn sarah àtàwọn ẹni 7,000 àwọn ní 5,002 yìí 5,003 tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ a máa ń ta ní 2,007.
ọjà yẹn ó ti wọ́n jù owó tó gbélé torí nìkan bíi Tuesday kọ́ bíi 27 àmọ́ lè ní double money la wá fi ń rà 50 something 55 63 ńlá yẹn wá ní 65 nítorí tó pọwọ́ lé kó tó di pé ńlá yẹn náà 55 is too high ó ti pọ̀ jù. January yẹn go wọ̀ torí gbogbo January this year àti gbé ní 1+ wọ́n ti tà ní 100 June July yẹn náà ó wọ́n lẹ́nu ìgbà tó fi wálẹ̀ yẹn bóyá bí nǹkan bíi September October yẹn ó wálẹ̀ díẹ̀ sí November kò dẹ̀ tó a month so ti yé sí kò tó a month kó tó di pé ó tún padà rise up.
That's 95. That's 50, 60. That was on January.
It's too cost. Everything is too cost. See the pepper we are priced 13,000. Pepper atanla. It's too cost so Ọlọ́run ló máa bá wa ṣe o iṣẹ́ yìí. Àdúrà ni ká máa gbà. Ọlọ́run bá wa tún ṣe, Ọlọ́run ló máa tún ṣe. Ìṣe káwa náà dẹ̀ yé ṣera wa. Ó ti jẹ́ nìyẹn kọ́.
À ń ta sóbò ní ike 26, à ń ta 2,000. A lè tún ta dìríkà ẹ̀ 500, à ń ta kejì náà ní 600. Olóyè náà là ń tà. Kò ní pé bóun ṣe wà ń tiẹ̀ nìyẹn. Díńjà nìkan ló léwó torí pé yẹn wọ́n. Díńjà àwọn àpò díńjà sí 360 àpò. Ike ọ̀dẹ̀ 15,000. Tẹ́lẹ̀ ló la ta ike ọ̀dà tẹ́lẹ̀ 500. 600 ní general ọdún ata ike ọ̀dà ní 7,000. July ata ó gbé kọ́dà ní 7,500. 15,000 ní sìn.
2 is the salam 25, 22. This one big one is the salam 23, 24, 25. Last one is the salam 10,000, 10,500. Where? It is salam 12,000. If a big one, it is big one 20.
But if you look this year now for January, how much be all this chicken?
If be January to come back, you go salam this one 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000.
But now you don't go increase to 10,000.
10,000. Yes. If that big one inside the market, you go salam 20,000. Concrete this one something like that. You just sell them this one 60,000. This one now, big one. Yes. This one now can carry them inside now. Bottom or top. You go buy them at the big one. It day here. If you buy it day here inside. You go buy them.
Tomato 50,000. Crate 35. And butter all of you 300.
Èló dé làwọn iye ọjà yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ kó tó di àkókò yìí.
Ojú bí bóyá 15, 20, 25.
Tábà wo bí àwọn kan ṣe wọ́n sóní ọjà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí báwo ló ṣe jẹ́ lára ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń rajà fún ọdún.
Àwọn tá rajà fọdún wọ́n sọ fún wa pé epo ló jẹ́ kó wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n gbọ́ tó dìgbò ọdún ní tó tún àìsókè
Ẹ kí wá ló ń tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ fún àwọn ìjọba nílé nípa ẹ̀wọ̀n gbogbo.
àfẹ́ sọ fún kán bá ní dẹ̀ kán bá ní sọ fún wọn kó lọlẹ̀ kó lè bá a pè wá tá a bá tajà kò sí àti jẹun ọmọ náà ò ní jẹ kò ṣeré owó mọ́tò gbé ọkọ̀ ọmọ 25 n tó fà nìyẹn látàkùtẹ̀ sí bíbá.
That is 83,000.
Oh wow. So around that June, July was about how much?
50, 60.
Okay, so we can say that it's almost double of the price now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
What about beans? How much do you sell your beans presently?
Presently, bag is 100,000 or 110,000.
Okay, depending on which type of the beans you're buying.
Yes.
Okay, so around before festive period, was it that same amount?
No.
So how much was it then?